Hey, this is Allie Edwards, and I am here today to give you a video walkthrough of the start of my album and a look at Monday. I'm going to go ahead and just show you the cover page here. I did a post about this yesterday, and it's got the Week in the Life from the packaging, the 2015 from using the white plastic letters. Our lives are made of moments on the bottom. I loved starting it with this photo, which is one of my favorites from the week. When I get into the days of the week here, I start with a 6x8 photo. I've got the Monday word art from the templates on there, and then I am adding a phrase from the perforated strips on each day. I am starting starting each day with this. I kind of follow a formula as I go along, but you'll see there are some places where I mix it up as well. And Monday definitely has some mixed up things because I have a lot more photos that I wanted to use, and I'm going to show you how I went ahead and did that. So I have my opening photo, and then I'm putting in my divider. So for those of you that pre-ordered very early on in the process this year, should have gotten dividers with your kit, and I've got Monday set up here. I know in the beginning some people were worried because it started with Sunday instead of Monday, and some people started on Sunday and some people started on Monday, but it doesn't matter. I'm not even thinking about it whatsoever, and I'm actually one of those people that kind of would normally be like, why is that in that spot? But it's completely fine. So Monday divider goes there, and I'm going to follow that throughout the rest of the album. On the 3x8 page protector, I have that next, and I went ahead and just did photos in those spots, kind of a morning and afternoon and evening photo. You are also going to see that I used a ton of these Avery 2-inch index tabs. I use them in Project Life a lot, but I use them a bunch. I used quite a few of them, and you'll see here in a minute. And I'm using the stamps that came with the kit and stamping directly on to the little pieces of white paper. That ended up working really well. I've got a 3x8 photo on the back, and for me, I'm just cropping my photos in Photoshop to that size and then printing out on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Again, all of my words are being printed directly on my photos, so I'm doing that in Photoshop first. I'm copying and pasting from my blog posts from the week and then putting them right on to the photos. I'm using Remington Noiseless is the font, and very, very small type size. I think this ended up, most of this is 8, maybe even a little bit smaller, but that worked okay for me. And I'm using both white and black type depending on what was happening. So because I had a bunch of extra photos that I wanted to add, I went ahead and did do what I did last year, which is printing out 4x6 photos, adhering them back to back, so these are glued together with rolling adhesive, and then I'm putting a tab on them, which actually makes it really nice for when you're turning these within the album. My daughter was looking at these earlier, and she definitely just grabbed right onto the tab to be able to turn the pages. So that worked well. I also like the fact that it's a good place for the stamping. So one of the things that I decided to do, I'm not adding the perforated phrases to every single photo. I'm adding a couple of different things on there, which might be chipboard pieces from the kit. I'm also adding a few chipboard pieces or stickers from some of my past story kits, and you'll see those in a minute here as well. So my day flows through. It's not chronologically exact to what happened during the day, just because the photos don't necessarily fit that way, and I'm fine with that. It's generally, though, kind of morning to evening, at least on Monday. So two 4x6 back to back, 2 4x6 back to back. Then I have the 3x4 page protector. And here I am using the perforated ones. I put the letter E for our last name on top of the heart chipboard. And then up here on the Monday card, what I decided to do is I'm going to put something specific on each one. I'm not sure exactly yet what it's going to be. I'm kind of waiting to see as I start working on the day what makes sense. And for this one, what made sense for me was to add in each of our names, so me and Simon and Anna, how old we were. Then I put what our favorite candy is, what our favorite color is, what our favorite music group or band or what we're listening to, our favorite food, and then what we're drinking right now as well. So that's on that card. I hand wrote with a brush pen, and then this I just ran through the printer. So I did a test print first, then I adhered this card onto that same piece of paper and ran that through the printer again to be able to print directly onto the card. On the back, we've got more 3x4 photos. One of the things that you'll see from me for this day is almost all of my pockets are filled with photos. I didn't do a lot of pattern paper. I didn't do a lot of extra decoration, especially on this day, because I had so many photos and so many stories that I wanted to tell related to those photos that came directly from my blog post. Here's where I used the Monday wood veneer, and I used one of the geotags, the chipboard geotags with it. One of the things that I like about that is here you can see Monday as a part of this spread, and then having Monday referenced somewhere here, I liked that as well. Current Obsession is from a past story kit. I took one of the die cut labels that said love this and adhered that down on this photo. Now this is where you'll see I have, what's this, I think 16, right? 8 photos that you'll see here that are all adhered back to back. So this is adhered with foam dots, and when you turn this, then we have more, and it's happening on the bottom too. So this allowed me to get in all of the pictures that I wanted to add today that added to the story that I was telling for this day. So that worked out well for me. And I like, again, having these tabs, I think makes a big difference. You can get those on Amazon. I've got them linked in the blog post. I have multiple packages here because I really do use them a lot, and I like them as kind of, you know, something to hang on to. Another thing you could do is you could use the washi tape, the really cute gold star washi tape, and use that as a little kind of flag to turn the pages. But these worked really well for me. This is from the first story kit, so I'm just kind of adding those in a few different places here and there. These were two of my favorite photos from Monday, and on each of them what I did is I went ahead and just wrote a little bit about what's happening for them right now, like kind of what are they into, what are their you know, things I care about right now, and I wrote that on both of them and just plugged those in there. I talked a little bit about this, I think in the blog post yesterday, or maybe I referenced it, where sometimes, you know, these other ones I'm just copying and pasting straight from my blog post, and that works great. But sometimes I like to add in a little more where I'm actually telling more of the story that's less of a reflection on the day and kind of rounding out the whole thing. And for me, it's just sitting there literally and looking at the picture and thinking about, you know, what am I into right now? What is he into right now? What is she into right now? What are those things that are important to them? And then just typing them up and putting them on the pictures. Then we're coming into the end of Monday here, and I've got two kind of evening photos, a dinner, one of Simon here in his bedroom. Through the Lens is from a story kit. I also decided that I did want to add in a little bit of pattern something or a little bit of decoration. So another thing that you can do, again, following along with that idea of punching holes in things to add them in, I like how this is a different texture, and I like how it kind of ties in with these, you know, having the photos be back to back, so it's not just all page protectors. So just using the heart this, putting another one of these tabs on here to help for the turning, and it kind of identifies it as something to turn. And then using the week in the life of us here on the back of this card, which could have also been used on the title page as well. I will probably do this sort of thing again, where it's not necessarily, I'm not having to write anything additional on there because my story is really told already on the photos that I've printed out, but it adds a little bit of color and it's a little bit of extra decoration for the album. I ended my page, or my day, with the photo of Anna reading in my office, and I used the chipboard star with an A for her initial on there to finish off Monday. So just reviewing back, Monday has tons and tons of photos. The easiest way that I've found to add in more photos, you obviously can add more page protectors, but if you don't happen to have any, like I don't have any extras, just adhering the photos back to back is a great way to create a page. They don't have to be 4x6. You could do more 6x8. You could do more 3x8. I think last year I did one that was 4x8. You know, play around with those sizes. Obviously that's a little bit easier to do if you have a home printer, but you can get creative and come up with some other cool options for that. And then just looking ahead, here's Tuesday, and right now all I have is just the main photo for the day, the divider, and then I started with a 3x8 photo, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave this one here. This one is on the front on Monday. So I'll probably move that around. And right now I have the 4x6, but I'll probably move the 3x4 over. So that's kind of how each day is going to go. You can see the main photo, then the divider, then the 3x8, then either the 4x6 or the 3x4. And some days I may switch those up just depending on what kind of content I have. So pretty much the rest of this is just the main 6x8 photos that I have so far. I haven't decided yet how or if I'm going to use the 2x2. I ended up using the 2x2 one day last year, and I may do that again. I may use it at the end. The other one's sitting on my desk right now, but I am going to be able to end with a 6x8 photo on Sunday. One of the things that came up in the Facebook group and on some of the comments too was the idea of chronology or going chronologically through the day. For me, I'm not super concerned with that. When I pick the 6x8 photo, I'm picking the one that I like the best, or the one that speaks to me or tells us, it's the strongest memory for me of the day, or it's just one that I like. Like the one of me in my closet that I started with on Monday, I just like it. Like I liked the light, I liked the look of it. It is a morning shot, but it doesn't have to be the morning shot. It can be just one that you like as an intro to the day. And then like I said, it generally follows, kind of how the day flows, but it doesn't have to be, it's not exact. Like this happened after that happened, and this happened before this, but it doesn't really matter. Each one of these is its own individual story, and that's kind of how I like to look at these. And anybody could pick up any one of these pictures and it's telling them a specific story from the whole of our day, right? Okay, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section. I'm happy to answer them. And I probably won't do a video for every day, but I wanted to just kind of give you a video for Monday, at least so you could see where I'm heading. I don't think that the rest of the days will have as many photos, but it's likely that I will repeat this idea again. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it at first, but I'm glad that I did now. I like the way that turns out, and I kind of like the layering of it as well. So hope you guys have a great day, and I hope that you are getting started on working on your project. And if not, when the time comes, I hope you enjoy the process.